Okay. All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to our call tonight here for our November 12th PACE call. And we are so...
We call it PACE.
Oh, gosh. See, I'm promoting PACE. It pours out of me, guys. I'm just so excited for Thursday and Friday. Hey, for our November 12th fire starter call, and we are super, super excited to have Amanda McGuire Heydenreich. Am I saying that right?
Heydenreich.
Well, come on. Tell Zeke not to have such a complicated last name.
Right?
And, I mean, that's on him. That's not on me. I shared with you guys in our team page just kind of like a fun little backstory about Amanda. We've known Amanda for a while now. And for all of you who sit there every day thinking about somebody that you think would make a tremendous Beachbody coach and you just don't have the nerve to invite them, let us introduce you to Amanda. She will forever be the one who got away, and we could literally have this rock star on our team had we just had the nerve to invite her. So we truly adore Amanda and have known her for so long that, not only can we say she's obviously an awesome rock star, up and coming Beachbody coach, but she's just a naturally good human being. So we are so, so excited for you guys to get to hear from her and learn from her tonight.
Yeah, so we shared this on the team page, but Amanda literally, on the side was working at Lifetime Fitness in the childcare center when our kids were little babies. And so she has seen them from super tiny till now. And honestly, whenever we see her, it's I feel like we're family just because, those early stages were so crazy. And in fact, Amanda, I meant to send you this. I'll send you the screenshot after this, but literally, you guys, when I was blogging, before Beachbody, Zeke, her husband, was working the front desk at Lifetime, and he was over-the-top customer service that I literally asked to take a picture with him one day, and I did this post about how awesome he was, and then later on, it's just so cool how God kind of brings people back into your life, and, just seeing how happy you guys are now, and you're in California now. She's a rock star. We had the chance to mastermind with Amanda a couple weeks ago, and she's awesome. You guys are going to learn so much from her. I'm just excited. I'll give it back to you.
So the only real reason we wanted Amanda on the call tonight is just to remind each and every one of you, if you know somebody that is in your sphere that could be a great Beachbody coach, go ask them tonight, okay? Just do it. Otherwise, they'll be hosting a team call for you in a couple years. So anyways, hey, Amanda, thank you so much for joining us on the Fire Starter. And I want to kick it over to you, give you an opportunity to introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about Zeke. Tell us a little bit about Marley. And welcome to the Ignition Mission.
Yay! Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. It's so true about the reaching out to people, because there's a few girls, too, that I never reached out to, because I decided for them that they were too busy or they didn't have the time or the money, and now they're rocking Beachbody coaches on other teams as well. So take that as a top tip, even though that's not even what my call is about. But as they said, my name is Amanda Heydenreich, and got married in June, moved out to California for my husband's job. I've been a Beachbody coach for about 2.5 years now, and when I started strictly for the discount. Loved the programs, loved the products, and just wanted to save money on my Shakeology every month. And when I started, I was working full-time at General Mills. I was in grad school for my MBA, and Zeke and I were in a long-distance relationship. So had a lot going on, but again, just got amazing results from the 21-day fix and kind of just started posting for accountability on social media. And that kind of turned into my results, inspired some other people in my family to want to do it. And when you get amazing results from these programs and you're a part of such an amazing community, you want to share it. And so I kind of started dabbling in the business. And then as of January, so almost a year now, I left my full-time corporate job to pursue coaching. And as of Summit, this past Summit, so just a few months ago, we were a 1-star team, and we just locked in 7-star. So we pre-qualified for elite, and we went from 1-star to 7-star in a month and a half or 2 months. So a lot can happen in a short amount of time when you kind of instill that bigger belief on yourself and your team. So yeah, that's kind of my story. And we have a new puppy, Marley, who we rescued, and she's really cute.
Well, hey, so one of the things that we are like really focused on right now as a team is just trying to kind of help people get a better understanding of how they can be using social media to influence their sphere. Like, no doubt you guys are all Beachbody coaches, but I think the quicker that you realize that you truly have influence and you use that on your social media channels as a way to like build relationship, build rapport, build confidence in people, the quicker your business is going to succeed. And I feel like if there's anybody, we're talking about this tonight, so Amber can attest, but like I feel like if there's anybody in Beachbody, like there's a handful of people that I think just like go all in on what they do on social media, and they really truly run a business through it. I feel like you, Amanda, are like at the top of that list for me. Like when I wake up in the morning, it's annoying because I know you're finding more coaches because like there she is in my feed. And then when I go to bed at night, there she is in my feed. And I've got like a bazillion videos and stories that I can watch. And it's all these people that you're engaging with. So guys, I'm telling you, tonight is such a special call for us. Like it comes full circle for us as a family having Amanda on here, but like I'm just so excited for you guys to learn from her. And I sent her a message earlier today being like, look, I want to talk about this as if you're running a business through it. And she has graciously agreed to just kind of like walk you guys through what she does. So in typical Firestarter call, I sent her some questions. So she kind of has an idea and some direction of things that we really want to cover. But one of the first questions that we had for you is like, you're a brand new coach, you're starting out today. Like, talk to us about Instagram. How are you setting up your feed? What are some of your top tips when you're just getting started using the platform?
Yeah, so a lot of, just a little side story. So a lot of coaches, my newer coaches, are like, I can't grow a business. I don't have as big a following as you. When I started coaching you guys, I had 400, maybe 400 followers, and I'm at 19,000 followers now. And I've never used a service. I've never used a company to help me grow my following. It's all from organic growth. And the number one thing I can attribute that to is consistency. There is not a day that I do not show up on Instagram in 2.5 years. Like even if I'm sick, I'm literally posting a picture talking about how I'm sick because I want people to relate to that. People can relate to everything, no matter what season you are in your life. Your person that you're trying to reach out to can relate to you. So consistency is my number one tip to all of my coaches and all of you guys on this call. Our Instagram is our storefront. I'm sure you guys have heard that analogy before, but every day that you don't show up, your store isn't open. People can't come and shop at your store or check things out. So that's my biggest number one tip is to show up every single day in your posts and also Instagram stories. Like, when they first released Instagram stories, I told my coach, Amy, I was like, I am not doing Instagram stories. Like, I just got rid of Snapchat. I don't really want to be a part of the whole video life anymore. But Amy was like, Amanda, when Instagram and social media comes out with new things, you got to roll with it. You got to give it a whirl and you got to make it work for you. So I just started being real and raw and acting like I'm talking to my best friend. Like, if you guys watch me on social media, every single day I wake up with, good morning, everybody, happy Monday. Literally every single day. It's like a good morning, happy whatever day. Hope your day is off to a good start. And so I just really try to connect with my people and my followers. So number one tip is consistency. Show up every single day, even on the days that you don't want to. And then my number two tip is just be yourself. Like, people want to sign up with you because they connect with you. People want to sign up with Amber because they connect with Amber. Like, I don't have kids, so I can't talk about a family and kids yet, but that's like Amber and Jake can talk about that. And like, maybe if you're a grad student, you can talk to other grad students. Like, talk every single day in your posts and in your stories like you're talking to your person, your ideal client, or like your best friend.
That's so good. That's so good. Kind of along the same lines as the newer person signing up, can you talk us through, like, when you're telling someone to set up their Instagram profile, what are the top things that you suggest putting in there?
Yeah, so I actually have like my profile pulled up. So when people come to your feed, like they've got about a second. Like, everybody these days are just like quick. So whatever you do has to be like show stopping in literally a scroll stopping, actually, instead of show stopping, stopping. But so like my Instagram like basis, I tell people like, that first little like paragraph clump about you. I created mine in my notes section because I can never get it to like look nice when I'm just typing it in the actual Instagram formatting. But I just have fitness enthusiast and then like the little arm flexor. I have a newlywed with a little engagement ring, Minnesota to California with like a redwood tree because we just moved. Just different things that people can relate with me on. So fur mama, retired from corporate, and then I have my little link tree in there, which people can click on to, I don't know, I'm sure you guys have Linktree or a similar service, but basically a link that like people can fill out the form to join me or like learn more about me and see what I'm about. So that's kind of my basic top get to know me quickly. And then I just tell like my new coaches that are just getting started, I honestly tell them to find like 5 Instagram accounts. They don't have to be Beachbody coaches or even Beachbody related, but 5 accounts that they love to follow. And then I tell them to write down all of the reasons why they like to follow those people. Is it a certain filter that they use? Is it that it's a lot of outdoor photos? Is it because they have professional photos? Or is it because they have amazing transformations or consistency? Like whatever it is for them, I tell them to do that. I think so often we try to recreate everything and like, yes, it's great to be an individual. You don't want to like be a copycat of somebody else, but like success leaves clues. So don't try to recreate everything. Like if somebody signed up with me because they liked my transformation photos, how real and raw I am and how I post 3 times a day, then they should probably do that too, because that's probably who they're going to attract. So I think the biggest thing with Instagram is, again, back to the storefront. Like people want to sign up with you because they relate to you. There's thousands of Beachbody coaches out there. They could just go buy the products on Amazon, actually. But we don't want that. And that's why we try to build up our brand and build up our Instagram and our page to attract the people that we think would want to sign up with us or that we want to join our team.
That's so good. I love, and I think you said something similar. It's in a different area of the business, but I love what you said about what attracted you or what inspired you, and then just duplicate that. I think it's so genius and it's so simple. And I think it's so easy to overthink, what we should be posting, but that's such a great tip. And so just for the newer coaches, if you could mention, when you were telling us about your profile, you didn't say that you're a Beachbody coach. You didn't say, you didn't have your direct link. Can you kind of talk us through why you choose to not do that and why you kind of encourage coaches not to do that?
Yeah. So I don't really talk a ton that I'm like a quote unquote Beachbody coach, even in my day to day. I talk that I'm either like a health and wellness coach or a virtual wellness coach. Just because I feel like sometimes people have like a bad taste in their mouth when it comes to like the word Beachbody, and I'm guilty of it as well. Like before I even like started Beachbody, I'd be like, okay, like all these people doing Beachbody, like I don't need Beachbody, blah, blah, blah. But like Beachbody is so much more than just like the term Beachbody. And I feel like once people like hear that term Beachbody, they're like, nope, don't want to, because maybe they were approached in like a negative way from a different coach. Maybe they've had like a bad experience in the past with it. So I don't have anything like Beachbody related on my like info or really in a lot of my posts, unless I'm wearing like some Beachbody swag. But I don't really do any posts that have like Beachbody in it, because I want people to get to know me and get to know like my tribe that I talk about, and just kind of using those buzzwords that people like are interested in, like community, tribe, like everybody wants to find like their girl bosses and all of that. So just kind of like kind of keeping people curious on like what you're doing to like ask more questions and keep like getting to know what I'm doing and like reaching out to me.
That's so good.
Amanda, just so you know, I just finished the book, Get Over Your Damn Self, a little while ago, and I learned how to build a boss babe empire.
Love it. Such a good book.
It's such a good book. But now you know that I can run a boss babe empire. You were talking a little bit about, post, I don't know if you were like kind of saying that's what you do, but you hit on really quick, like I post 3 times a day. Is that kind of your algorithm? Is there a reason or method to the madness? Kind of elaborate on that if you would.
Yeah. So I think like the biggest thing that people get stuck on is the exact word that you just said is algorithm. And I know I do as well, because everybody's like, the algorithm changed. I'm not getting as many likes, so the algorithm must have changed. I don't go with any algorithm. Like, I just go with like my flow and like what works for me. When I was a brand new coach, I was posting 5 to 7 times a day. 5 to 7 times a day to build up my following, to be in people's feed more, to be consistent. Now I'm not posting 5 to 7 times a day. I would say probably 2 or 3 times a day. But that's just kind of like my sweet spot. But I do tell my newer coaches to try to post. I mean, a sweaty selfie to me is like a non-negotiable. When you're trying to build your business, especially like as a new coach, when people come to your page, they should see like in that first block of your photos, they should know that you work out. They should know like if you're a mom or if you're a wife or you have a significant other. They should know if you work in a corporate world or if you like to eat healthy foods, or they should learn a lot about you just by looking at the first like 6 pictures or like 12 pictures in your Instagram feed. So I don't have the exact perfect answer on what the sweet spot is. Like I heard last week, you're supposed to post 3 to 4 times a week. And I was like, a week? Like, what? That's crazy. So I don't typically tend to like stress too much about the algorithms. I just kind of try to post to my audience, and I don't know. So I don't have the perfect answer on that, but about 3 times a day works for me lately. So
I feel like we were kind of debating that tonight a little bit, because I only post when I've got something to say. So I go the complete opposite route of the 3 times. And like, I probably might be in that 3 to 4 post camp a week, but I only will post value. So where a lot of people will be like, just finishing my Energize, I will post like, I call that the what's. So like we tell people what we do. I go to the park, I play with my kids. That's the what. I always try and elaborate pretty deep on the hows and the whys. And you can attest, like it'll take me, a couple of days to write content that I want to share. But to your point on algorithm, like I don't care. I want to write my feed a certain way, and I'm sticking to it. Kind of sounds like that's what you do, and I know you do that as well. Like you have certain things that you want to hit more than I feel like I need to post X amount of times a day.
Yeah, and I think like you said, what feels natural and what feels like we can always be better. Like I feel like since Stories has come out, I've been slacking on posting, so I'm always like trying to get back up to that. But I love what you said of don't stress about that. Just do your thing, share your story, and kind of forget about that. So with that said, though, what are the main things that you do try to post about, like both in your feed and then on Stories daily, kind of overall?
Yeah. So just one other thing off of that. So I was thinking about maybe like trying to post less, but like I get really bummed out like when I go to like certain coaches' pages that I like love, like my coach Amy. I always like, she's my best friend, so I obviously know what she's up to every day, but like I always want to see what she's up to. And when she doesn't post all day long, I'm like, what? I want to see what you're doing. Like, where are your pictures of you and Storm? Or like, where are you and Moose? Or like, what are you doing? So I always try to think of like, it bothers me sometimes when I go to people's feed and they haven't posted in like 3 days. I'm like, all right, well, you got nothing new for me. So maybe that like keeps people on the edge of their seat though. So maybe that's a good thing. But as far as what I do between like Instagram stories and Instagram posts, so I feel like I kind of have changed up my game a little bit on like what I post now versus what I posted when I started. So like I always tell my coaches, again, when they're trying to build up a following and like build up posting and getting like their Instagram page established, I tell them to post basically the 4 vital behaviors. Like if you're doing the 4 vital behaviors, which you should be doing every single day, that's 4 posts right there. If you are getting your workout in, post a sweaty selfie. If you're doing your personal development, talk about the personal development book that you're reading or what you learned or a different like mindset that you had because you did that reading. So again, if you're doing like the 4 vital behaviors, that right there is kind of like 3 or 4 posts that you could be doing. And then Instagram stories for me is just like 15-second snippets on like what I'm doing every day. Like, hey, best friend, just woke up. How's your morning going? I just did this and this and this. People know like what I'm doing. Like, I don't know. I think a lot of people are like, I'm boring. Nobody wants to follow me. okay, you guys, I literally pretty much stay in my house all day. I do the same things every day. Like I wake up and I read, and then I get my workout clothes on, and then I have a dance party and I drink Energize. If I don't have a dance party, people are like, why didn't you dance today? And I'm like, ooh, gotta keep you guys on your toes. But I'm like really consistent on what I do. And I think that that's truly why a lot of people like to follow me, is because a lot of people do like routine and like consistency. So I feel like, I mean, I do. So that's why I always post like similar things. And obviously I change it up from day to day, but like my life isn't really anything crazy awesome every single day. But I think just kind of like informing people of like what I'm doing, or like, you know, showing them like a training that I'm leading my girls in, or something that I'm making really quick, like a smoothie. People love to see like meal prep, you guys. I asked a poll last week. I was like, what do you guys want to see more of? And they're like, meal prep. And I'm like, what? I do that I do that all the time. It's nothing new. But so I just kind of use my Instagram stories for people to like get to know me. Like when people look at a picture, they can tell that I'm a smiley person, but they can't see that like I'm super animated and like bubbly, and I like to talk with my hands, and my voice is very like, shows my emotions and stuff like that. So I think like Instagram stories is just a true sneak peek into your life, and to really get to know your quirks and your goofy self and like your personality and stuff.
So I know I don't think this is something I sent over to you, but about along those lines, sharing the raw and real you, that's not just like a natural occurrence. You don't sign up as a Beachbody coach or as just a human being in general and be like, look, I'm going to share Amanda dancing and think like, no, you have all, as humans, we have insecurities. Maybe could you talk about just like that, like battle to like get over it and just push forward, because A, it's a business, and B, you also want people to know who the real you is. I think there's a number of components to it, but if you have any thoughts on that, I'd love to hear kind of your perspective and maybe how you help some of your coaches get over that initial fear.
Yeah, being real and raw is definitely not easy. And like, I think a lot of people think it is easy for me now because I do share it pretty effortlessly, but like, it's still a struggle. My husband and I just experienced a miscarriage, and it was like the saddest, I mean, it's still the saddest thing that we've ever gone through, but opening up on social media about a miscarriage was hard. But the amount of women, hundreds of women that thanked me for opening up about this taboo topic that the world thinks we shouldn't talk about made me realize immediately why I shared it. I just, sharing your life raw, real, the good, the bad, the ugly, it's not easy to do. But I've always said that if I can connect or help one person with my story, just one, then it's worth it. And again, talking about our miscarriage and like our struggles, hundreds of women have reached out to me and thanked me for sharing this story. They've shared their struggles that they've experienced, and then they shared their rainbow baby stories, which gave me and Zeke a ton of hope. But I've just connected with so many women. It's not fitness related. It's not Beachbody related. But again, there's hundreds and thousands of Beachbody coaches. What makes you different? And that's where the real and the raw comes in. Like, people want to know that we're not perfect. If we post only perfect pictures every single day, people think that we're not real and they can't relate with us and they can't connect with us like we want them to on that deep level. So that's when, just kind of biting the bullet and realizing that, yeah, it's not easy to share the struggles, the day you couldn't get out of bed, the day you missed your workout, the day you ate like crap. But there are hundreds and thousands of people that struggle with that daily. And when they know that they're not alone, and when they know that like you are opening up about that, they know that they can open up about that. And they know that like they're not alone. They're not the only people struggling. And that's why I feel like I've had a lot of success in this business, is because I don't just share the perfect days. I don't just share my perfect transformations every single day. Like, I don't have struggles, because we are all human and we struggle. So when my girls are like, oh, I don't want to share this, or I don't want to share this, I'm like, but what if your story could inspire one person? What if your story could help one person like get out of depression, or like realize that they're not alone? To me, that is worth it. So for me, it's not always easy to share the real and the raw, but I just know that like I'm not alone. Like, I knew that me and Zeke weren't the only couple in the world that had a miscarriage, but it really helped me cope with it. And it helped so many other women that have experienced it even the past few weeks that have messaged me and thanked me because they're like, I would have felt like I was all alone if you wouldn't have shared that with me. So just kind of realizing that your story can inspire somebody. And that's kind of our purpose as Beachbody coaches, is to help inspire men and women to get back on track or like live their best life.
That's so good and such a powerful reminder. Like, it's not about us. It's really not. It's about how, our story can be used. I love that. You kind of touched on this before, but kind of going to, just how people think their life is boring, or how, like we always get a lot of times, well, you guys have kids, you can talk about your kids. Like, I don't have kids. I don't have that interesting of a life. And I was telling Jake, like, you make everything interesting. Like, I want to read every single post, even if it was just you having your Energize, because I want to know like how you talked about it and what you thought about your Energize. Like, it's just like the way you describe it and write about it. So can you go into not only like how you kind of just like document, but also like how your writing style a little bit, because I think that you're a really good writer and how you draw people in. And so the fact that you're writing about the same things pretty much every day, but they're different every time and they draw people in every time. Can you talk about kind of how you are intentional to do that?
Yeah. So again, you guys, I think my life is boring. I think we all think our lives is boring. Like, I'm sure Amber and Jake are like, yep, we get up every day, we bring our 4 kids to school, and then we do our workout. And then I still love following them. I love seeing what they're doing. Same with a lot of other people on Instagram. Like, we're very like routine by human nature, I feel like, but I'm still super intrigued by what people are up to. And if you guys have people that you follow on Instagram because of X, Y, and Z, there are people that want to follow you as well. So get that out of your head, because there definitely are people that like following you and like seeing what you're up to, and those are your people. But yeah, I mean, like Amber said, I post about the same things pretty much every day. Like, my workout people know that I'm doing like Transform 20 right now. But I just try to, at leadership this year, they had a woman, I forget her name, but she was talking about storytelling. And in all of my posts, kind of like what Jake said, like, I don't just post to post. Like, I don't just say like, Energize time, happy Tuesday, peace, love, happiness. Like, I don't just post stuff like that. I try to like pinpoint something that like I know somebody is struggling with, or like everybody can use a little boost of energy. And I never talk about Energize, because we're supposed to like create that sense of like, you don't want to say Energize, because people can just go Google Energize. If you call it like a cup of magic, they could Google a cup of magic, but probably Energize isn't going to pop up. But like all these different people say like mommy go-go juice and like liquid gold, and like using words like that intrigues people, and they like want to know what it is. So I just try to like tailor all my messages like I'm talking to new people. There are new people constantly coming to my page, and there are people that don't know what Energize is. I'm like, what? I literally talk about Energize every single day. And like, there are people that still don't even know what Beachbody is, you guys. Like, thousands of people that don't know what Beachbody is. So if you think that like everybody's already a coach and everybody already has their health and fitness routine and they know what Beachbody is, don't assume that, because that's not true. But I just try to like post all of my messages and like tailor my messages kind of like I'm talking to myself before Beachbody, and just trying to like touch on like a pain point, like was super tired today, which so many people can relate to. And that, I don't know, just kind of like tailoring my messages to what I think people need to hear, and like what people can like connect with on like a deeper level. And then again, just using like kind of buzzwords that people don't necessarily know what they are, so that they're kind of intrigued to like learn more about it.
That's so good.
Do you have certain things that you try and talk about in your stories every day? Like, obviously your workout is one. I mean, you talked about doing your dance party, and then, taking your Energize, and then you get into the heart of the day, because that's probably for you, it's probably like 4:30 in the morning, and that what you just accomplished there is from 4:30 to 5 a.m. What's the rest of the day look like? What are the other things that you're kind of, and I know, like, obviously with an MBA and like just a business background in general, like there has to be some strategy to what you're doing. So what are like some things that you're trying to make sure you hit on throughout the day?
Yeah, I mean, one big thing that I really try to do is act like people don't know what I do. A lot of times, like I've gotten messages from people, and maybe not the nicest of people, but they're like, is all you do is answer emails? I'm like, well, I do answer a lot of emails, but then that was kind of like a wake up call for me. Like, oh, people just think I answer emails all day. Okay, I should probably take them through my day a little bit more. So I have certain days like of the week where sometimes I'll just like take people through my day. Like from me waking up to me, like how I structure my day from working from home. And like I'll set up like my tripod kind of like back here, and I'll start doing like check-ins for like my virtual boot camps. So on my Instagram story, I'll be like, all right, it's this time, I have this blocked off where I'm going to check in with all of my current clients. And I'll just have like my phone back there so they can like music playing, and I'll just kind of be like typing my check-ins. So, and just kind of taking people through like my day. Because honestly, in the past, I've had people sign up with me, and I try to be super upfront about like the freaking hard work that goes into being a coach. But then sometimes I get people like today, a new coach, she's like 1 month in. She's like, I didn't realize it was this hard. And I'm like, in my coach sneak peek, I talked about how hard it is. Like, I don't just wake up and like drink my Energize and make money. Like, I have to put in the work. So I'm trying to be a little bit more intentional with like sharing my day by day of like what I'm doing and like what actually goes into this business. And then a lot of for Instagram stories, people love when my husband makes an appearance a lot. Like people will be like, where's Zeke? We want Zeke. And I'm like, okay, Zeke, let's go. So I just kind of, again, I just try to talk to people like they're a part of my day. And like some days I share a lot of Instagram stories, and some days I just kind of like share the bare minimum because I'm like, oh crap, I did that yesterday. But I just kind of try to like talk to people like they're new to following me, and just kind of like take them through my life and how I'm feeling and what I'm doing and kind of all of that.
Sorry. I have another question.
Okay, go ahead. I'll ask mine after this.
So, and then like kind of along similar lines, when you think about posting, you post something in the morning, do you kind of, when you talk about 2 to 3 times, do you have like specific times that you like to be in social, like morning, afternoon, evening, or is it morning, afternoon, or is it morning, evening? Do you have any strategy to what you're trying to do or when you're posting?
Yeah, so I used to try to post every 3 to 4 hours when I was like, not that long ago, but now I'm not really that intentional with like 3 to 4 hours. I don't really watch the time. I will say one thing that I have been struggling with is like the time change, because I have been a Central Time girl my whole life. So now that I'm in the Pacific time zone, I'm not joking, you guys, I feel really behind. I wake up at 4:30 and I'm like, holy crap, like it's 7:30 for the Kuipers. They're already 3 hours ahead of me. And like, even though they're not ahead of me, it like gives me anxiety, to be completely honest. Like not just you guys, but like my family, they're already 2 hours into their day. So I think like sometimes that kind of gets to me, because I'm like, I haven't even posted yet and it's already 7:30 in the East time zone. So I'm still working on that. But honestly, I used to post like right away in the morning. But now I kind of like take my time with social media in the morning, because I was like getting too caught up on Instagram without like waking up and like trying to like take in the day and like some personal development before I just like dive into Instagram. But I try to post right away in the morning. Like I'm a morning workout girl, so I post right away in the morning. Whether it's a workout picture or like a personal development picture, but something like right away, because to me, I haven't posted like all night, all morning. And a lot of my people are Central and East time zone. So I still kind of have that in the back of my mind, whether I need to or not, I don't know. But yeah, so I don't really have a time, but I do typically try to post like morning, afternoon, and early evening.
That's so good. I think it's so fascinating just to like hear what other people do and the thought process and all that. So one question I had is, if you could just talk us through a little bit, how did you make the switch? I know a handful of coaches on here that are like at that diamond level, or even 1-star, 2-star. Talk us through like, how do you feel like you've really started to attract the right type of person that is willing to put put in the work? And, you know, how do you attract that through your posts and things like that?
Yeah. So I think for me, I remember like the longest time I wasn't attracting like coaches or like business builders. And I wasn't running a lot of coach sneak peeks for a long time. And that was kind of like a huge like, duh, if you're not running coach sneak peeks, probably not going to get a lot of like people interested in coaching. But I'm constantly talking about coaching, you guys, like how coaching has allowed me to quit my corporate job. Like the other day I did a post comparison of me at my corporate job where I weighed more. I wasn't super happy. You could just kind of tell in my face that like I wasn't like the happiest of person. And then I did a side by side of like me in my office now, like here, and how happy I am that like I get to be my own boss. Like I've worked hard to get to where I am, but I make people like very aware like of the hard work, but also that it's possible. Like this anybody can truly be a successful Beachbody coach if they want to put in the time to do it. But I just talk a lot about coaching. I talk about how it's, you know, changed our lives financially, how it's allowed me to be a stay-at-home dog mom with Marley, which is super exciting. And just like little snippets of coaching every single day. So I think like that's probably like why I attract more like business builder coaches now, because I talk about the coaching opportunity and like the possibilities with it. Trips, you know, like the leadership trip that I qualified for, and like just different like opportunities that coaching has provided that people like maybe wouldn't know about otherwise.
I love that. And I think the other thing that's really infectious about you is your energy. How do you muster up energy every day? I think like you just show up and you're positive, you know, even when you were going through your darkest hour, really, you know, over the last few months, you still showed up in a way that was like serving other people. And then I know you and I have talked about kind of, you know, some of the negativity that social media can bring and kind of overcoming that. So how do you, because I think, why would you, I mean, even when you listen to your talk, like your energy is so, I just like want to be your friend, you know? And so I would love to be on your team. Like you're positive, you're hardworking. Like how do you bring that every day though? Like to do that every day is a lot of work, really.
I honestly wish I had a really good answer, but it's really just who I am. Like I wish I really had a better answer, but like I don't try to be positive and upbeat and bubbly. Like you can ask my family. Like I've been this way since I was like 4. I've always tried to find the positive in every situation. Yeah, like I've had haters on social media, and I feel like as you grow your business and your following, that's going to happen. But my husband always reminds me, like, those aren't your people. Like if people don't like your dance parties, but they're going to keep watching you, you don't want them on your team anyways. Or like, I don't know, somebody said that my smile was ugly and it was too big. And I was like, really? My smile is like my favorite thing about me. So it's just like really being like proud of who you are. And I don't know, like if you're not a super upbeat and bubbly person, like don't try to be like over upbeat and bubbly, because people can like read into that. But I just think like trying to find like the best in every situation, and I don't know, every day is like a brand new day to like bring yourself and be your best self. And I know that sounds cheesy, but that's just kind of like my personality and who I am. So I just try to like let that shine every day.
I love that. Can I ask one more question? Okay. I just want to pick your brain a little bit more on the trip that you guys took this last year from 1-star to 7-star. Like,
good question. What
happened in your business and I know you were making like actually really good money even at 1-star, because you quit your corporate job at 1-star, right? When you were a 1-star diamond coach, you were making really good money. But what was sort of that switch? You know, how did you get there, and what happened to make that happen so quickly?
Yeah, honestly, the biggest thing that changed from 1-star to get like our team to 7-star was like me sharing my vision with the team. For the longest time, I thought that elite and like premier were like selfish goals, because, you know, my team isn't recognized necessarily as an elite team. We are, but like Amanda Heydenreich is the person that's recognized as an elite leader, and Team Arenda is an elite team. So I feel like that was hard for me to want to like encourage my ladies to push to diamond for elite, because it wasn't really helping them. But then I took a step back and I was like, wait, if we're pushing for an elite team, that means that they're pushing their business to diamond and beyond. So it's not selfish for me for us to want to be an elite team, because that means that other ladies are stepping up and growing their business and getting closer to their goals. So after Summit, I just went live in my team page and I was like, hey, look, we deserve to be an elite team this next year or this year. I said, if you are interested in pushing your business to diamond and beyond, please message me, because I want to get like a little group pod going of us to like mastermind together and like really push your business forward. And I had a handful of ladies that stepped up, and we just kind of had like a back and forth chat. It wasn't a push group. It wasn't anything special, but it was just like truly forming friendships with these women on my team, which the biggest like tip that I learned from like my mentor upline, Steve Innes, was if you want to grow a successful business, become best friends with your coaches. And I can say firsthand 100% it is so true. Like my closest friends right now are Beachbody coaches who I met on Instagram. And we have the same goals. We have the same vision. We have the same like wants and like desires for our life and our future. If not just for ourselves, but like for other people as well. So that's kind of how we started pushing our business from like 1-star to 7-star, was just like sharing the bigger vision with the team and like instilling belief in these women that there's no reason every single person on this call can't be a diamond coach, a 1-star coach, a 2-star coach. Like if you want to be a diamond coach, go be a diamond coach. Like put in the work, put in the extra work, 10x your efforts, and like make it happen. And diamond is just like a little taste of the greatness. Like 1-star and 2-star and above, like it just keeps getting better and better and better. So yeah, I think just sharing the bigger vision and the goal with the girls and like instilling belief in them that diamond is so possible, and so is any other rank that they really truly want.
That's so good.
I can't stand Steve Innes. Like, he's a good-looking guy. He's smart. You know, he's such a wise soul. I have started to like constantly pick Steve's brain, because really I think what he brings to this business is, you know, ultimately what I'm trying to bring as well, where there's just like a little bit of strategy to everything that you're doing, as well as just having like a true sounding board to be like, hey, this is a really good idea. This is a really bad idea. And like even some of the stuff he talks about with like just kind of a little bit more of the cutthroat, I think, of just like realizing and prioritizing where your time matters it needs to be said sometimes. So I'm like, okay, I can say that. That's okay. Cool. Like you say that to your team. So it's like really nice that like I've got a guy now who like does this too. One last thing, and then I want to open it up for Q&A. Like, I mean, we are telling our team, we keep telling them how like big of an opportunity Transform 20 is. Like, you've obviously got to be, you're going through the test group, Amber's going through the test group. Like, just like, can you just tell them for us? Because nobody listens to us anymore. Can you just tell them what a massive opportunity this is going to be for their business in December and January?
For sure. Any new program launches, you guys need to be like on it. Like Lift 4 and 80-Day Obsession were huge for my business. Like the highest volume growth I've ever experienced was those 2 launches. Program launches are just so great for our businesses. And it's so nice that Beachbody is constantly like bringing us new amazing programs and products. But Transform 20, I think, is going to be such a big game changer, because a lot of people have excuses as to why they can't work out for, 30 minutes is a really small amount of time to work out, but 20, like the fact that you can get an amazing like head to toe workout in 20 minutes is mind blowing to me. I told Zeke, my husband, before the program, I was like, I think I'm going to have to incorporate weights on the side of this program, because how can you really get a good workout from a 20-minute step workout? Well, you guys know Sean T, and he like seriously brought the heat. I had such a great experience the first round. I'm actually doing another round right now, and they launched a hybrid calendar, which is cool because it does incorporate weights for anybody that does want to like incorporate weights in it. But make sure that you guys are planning this launch in your calendar. Like I know my girls are, and I hype it up all the time, because Beachbody puts a lot of money behind product launches, and it's so take their advertising and what they're promoting and bring it into your business. And it's just the best time to get in and like grow your business is with product launches and program launches.
Couldn't agree more. And I've said this, I know everybody's probably heard us, but like when I went in and did just like a general business overview of like where our income has made jumps. It has been 80-day obsession, and then it settled in here, and then lift forward, and then it settled in here. And like, we're expecting the exact same thing with Transform 20. And that's on our level, certainly, but like even on like smaller levels or getting started levels, these can be the opportunities, the moments that your business really takes that, maybe that first initial step, or maybe it's that jump. Maybe it's that jump that gets you from diamond to 2-star, from 2-star to 5-star. Like, it's not, I did a call earlier today and I was like, look, it's not really that complicated when we really start breaking down this business. We need X amount of people on the right. We need X amount of people on the left. And if you find your people, your business grows. We have programs that help do it. So let's open it up for questions here. I see one right away, right off the bat. But like, if you guys have any questions, feel free to flood the chats. First question is, how do you talk about coaching when you are a newbie?
I mean, immediately when you sign up as a coach, you're signing up to be a coach for a reason. Maybe you did a program and you got amazing results and you love the community. Talk about that. Like, whatever reason made you want to sign up as a Beachbody coach, somebody else is going to connect with that and want it for that same reason. So, a lot of my coaches are like, I don't have a huge income progression to share. Don't share that then. Like, my coach Elizabeth, she's just like a side hustle coach, and she has a full-time job that she loves, but she makes quite a bit of money from coaching. And she did a post last week. It was a picture of her gas receipt, and she paid for her gas and her groceries from coaching money. And she talked about it. She talked about how she didn't have to touch any of her corporate money because of Beachbody, because of coaching and helping women. So it doesn't just have to be an income progression to like get people interested. And it doesn't just have to be like you making all this money and you have to leave your full-time job. Like, you can build this business on the side for community purposes, to help people, to meet new women, to get amazing results and stay accountable. So whatever reason you signed up as a coach, talk about that, because that is what people will be able to connect with.
So
awesome question. I actually wish our minds didn't go there, but should have. How many coaching invites are you averaging per week? Do you go straight cold invite to coaching on Instagram?
Yeah, so I'm going to be completely honest. At this point in my business, I am not really doing a lot of reach outs anymore. Obviously, I did not start that way. I've been doing this for 2.5 years and I've really built up my following and like my presence on Instagram. So I do promote things. Like, I talk about coaching and I invite to coach sneak peeks all the time on Instagram, but I'm not going out and coldly inviting anymore at this point in my business. Maybe I will again at some point, but right now my business is growing at a steady rate just from my posts and my Instagram stories and me like engaging with people and inviting through that. But my coaches who push to diamond and are pushing to diamond are averaging about 20 to 30 cold reach outs a day. Not necessarily just to the coaching opportunity, but cold reach outs, like starting new conversations, inviting to a free group or a challenge group or coaching. So I think 20 to 30 is kind of like the sweet spot for my girls right now. And I used to just go straight for the cold invite. I'm like a very forward person. Like, I know what we offer is amazing. And if people were like watching my stories or people were liking my things, that's a 100% fair game, immediate invite. Like, they know what I do. They're watching me. They see what I'm about. So I don't need to like really get to know them as much because they're already watching me. But when I was like trying to like build up my business and my following, when I started, I was building relationships with people. I was connecting with grad students. I was connecting with other women that were in long distance relationships. I was connecting with other women who have maybe tried other programs in the past and failed, because I've done that multiple times before Beachbody. How long are your coach sneak peeks? Do you run them on Facebook only? I have found that people don't take the time to read the content and watch the videos. So my coach sneak peeks, I only run them by myself now. So I used to run them with other like leaders on the team, and I will run coach sneak peeks with my new coaches, but I don't typically tend to invite a bunch of people to those. I just help them run their group. So I run one coach sneak peek a month. It's typically the first week of the month, and it's in a private Facebook group. I talk for about 25 minutes. I talk about my story, how I got started with coaching. I talk about the different types of coaches, how we make money, what we do, and how they can get signed up. I feel like I have quite a bit of engagement with those. I mean, I know people that run 2-day coach sneak peeks, 3-day coach sneak peeks, and I'm more of just like the happy hour, one and done. And then throughout the month, I just constantly invite and put people in that coach sneak peek replay. So I just say,
just do it one video. That's it. Simple.
I do one video. I've been thinking of maybe breaking it up into a few videos just because it can get kind of long, 25 minutes. But right now I'm just doing the one video, and that's been working for me. I have thought about maybe breaking it down to like, my story, what I do as a coach, or like my story, and then like the different types of coaches and like how to sign up. So if people are like, don't really want to hear my story or whatever, they can just like watch the other videos. But for the most part, I feel like I have pretty good engagement on them.
Yeah, I kind of like that you just do one, because then it's only one thing they have to find, because I feel like a lot of times we do more than that and they're like, oh, did I get all the posts? So I kind of think that's brilliant to just do it.
It works pretty well.
That's
and then Bridget asked, do you keep the same group every month, or do you change the group, new page every month?
Yeah, I do a new page every month. I've thought about, like, I know coaches like Emily Favre, she just runs an ongoing one where like she has, I don't know, probably hundreds of people in it by now that she just keeps adding into, which isn't a terrible idea, just because maybe somebody that wasn't interested last month would be interested this month. So thought about it, but I have always started a new page every month for a coach sneak peek.
Shar asks, I know you've talked about this before, I believe, but do you use any sort of social service or anything like that to grow your following, or is it just simply through your posts and stories?
Yeah, I don't know what 21 Social or STEM is, so no. No, I have never used the service to grow my following. It's been all organic, just from, I mean, I think a big reason I get a lot of followers is from transformations. Like when I do a program, I go all in 110%, like 80-day obsession. I had not a single cheat day. I had the best transformation I've ever had in my life. And that brings people in. People love transformations. People want transformations. So I think just, again, the consistency and like transformations has really helped me grow my following.
This is actually a really good question, just with your background at General Mills. But, you know, any suggestions on how you share your day working a corporate job? A lot of my day is going to court, client meetings, confidential information.
Yeah. Oh man, I used to share my life on when I worked at General Mills too. But similar, like I just shared like snippets of it. Like I'd be walking in the snow to my corporate job, and I would just be like, hey guys, just wanted to do one more quick check-in. It's 7:30. I'm just walking into General Mills, and I have like 2 meetings to kick the day off. So I'll check in with you soon, but have a great Tuesday. And then it would be, maybe like me in the lobby, or like me in a meeting or something with like all of my stuff, no confidential information, just my laptop, my water bottle, and my snack. And I might take like a quick picture of it and like post it in my Instagram story, like just finished up 2 meetings, heading to the next meeting. Good thing I brought my hummus and veggies with me because I'm starving, and drinking water, whatever. And then, just like snippets of your day, like doesn't have to be in a meeting or anything like that. Or I would be like at my desk and just checking in with people on like what I'm doing with my day to day. Even at my corporate job. And like all my corporate people knew that like I was a Beachbody coach, and I didn't have any issues with it. But again, I wasn't like in a super like confidential area. But yeah, I took people through my day at General Mills too.
How many working coaches do you average a month? Quote unquote working.
So I sign everybody up as discount coaches, which hence the working. So I average like 30 coaches a month between working and discount coaches. But I would say a lot more of my coaches now are like business builders. So maybe 15 to 20 working coaches a month. And then some discount coaches as well that just strictly want to do it for the challenge group. I mean, my ideal situation is even the ladies that just want the discount, I get them amazing results in the program. I get them really plugged in and involved in a challenge group. And then once they're posting and commenting on other people's stuff, I'm like, hey, you know how you signed up for that discount coach? You would make a great coach. Like, you had an awesome transformation. Are you interested in learning more about the business? And a lot of times they'll be like, oh, sure. Yeah. I didn't really know what you did as a coach. So then I'll like plug them into like a coach sneak peek or something. So yeah.
Do you make it a requirement that your challengers sign up as coaches?
No, I don't make it a requirement. I just present the discount opportunity to them, and it's free for them to sign up right off the bat for it. And obviously my ideal situation is, again, they're going to love the challenge group. They're going to love the programs and the products. So I just save them a step at the end when a lot of my coaches will reorder products each month. So instead of contacting them in like 2 or 3 weeks to sign up as a discount coach, I just usually sign them up right off the bat. I tell them right off the bat, like, I always, in my email that I send to them, I say, hey, before I send over the link, I just want to let you know that I usually offer it up to the ladies on my team to sign up as a discount coach right off the bat. It's free for you to sign up and you can cancel anytime, but it'll just save you a step on the back end if you decide that you want to continue with the products. I show them like that little discount coach breakout, what they save, and then 9 out of 10 people are like, yeah, sign me up for the discount. I'm like, okay. So
one thing that I've noticed, like, as you're talking tonight, is you really have this gift of breaking things down just to seem so simple. Like, yeah, just do that and just do this. Like, which I think gives people confidence and gives people like, okay, sure, I'll do that. Like, I love that.
Anything specific you do in your challenge groups that promotes great engagement?
Yeah, one thing that I've been doing the past few months, which has been working, like the Sunday, so I run 21-day groups. And the Sunday before the group starts, I just do this little post that has like a picture of like a personal development book. It's like 4 different gifts that are like maybe $10 to $15. And I say, if you check in every single day and answer the question, so there's a sweaty selfie check-in with a question every day for them. If you check in all 7 days, you'll be entered to win possibly one of these gifts. But if you don't check in, if you check in 6 days, you don't get to be entered for that prize. And everybody loves prizes and gifts. So that's been working really well for me. Like, most of my ladies check in every day. I tell them to, like, if you tend to forget to check in, set an alarm on your phone. So every single day you just remember to do it. So yeah, that's been working well.
So good.
Cool.
All right.
Well, we just hit our, for us here, we've accomplished so much today, Amanda. You wouldn't even believe it. It's 10 o'clock Eastern time here. But I do want to say, and I'm sure I'll hand the mic over to you to close it. But Amanda, thank you so much for joining us tonight and sharing your insights and just how you see this business and how you use different platforms to grow it. I mean, honestly, it's amazing. I love what you said there. Like, we keep telling people, like, this business is not easy, but it is simple. And so, like, I love that, like, you continue to break it down in a manner that's just like, hey, no, you do this, you do this, you do this. Kind of hate it, but I do like it. Like, that's great that you figured it out. But like, seriously, like, we're like just like proud to know you and like have like this fun tie to you back in Minnesota. And like, it's just super cool to watch you guys thrive and continue to grow as a team. And I just feel fortunate to have had you on our team call tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks for having me.
You're just like, I mean, I like love cheering you on. It's seriously so fun. I love you. And Zeke, if you guys ever meet them in person, like, Zeke is the sweetest person in the whole world too. And you just go together, and it's just like, I just like want you to just keep crushing it. So seriously, thank you for sharing. You inspire me every single day on Instagram, and you're just so sweet. So thank you for taking an hour out of your day to help us.
I hope it was helpful. Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you. We'll talk to you soon. Okay, bye.